Hello, I'd like to show you a Christmas journal. I'm naming her Hope because there's many things this time of year that people hope for. I think people hope to see more peace in the world, to see more joy, and Christmas is about those things. It's about love. This journal has 2 signatures, and she turned out to be, as per usual, a lot chunkier than I anticipated. But yeah, I tried to take out some stuff so she wouldn't be so thick, but I thought, oh no, I like that. I need to leave that in there. Anyways, whoever ends up with it, they can take some things out if they don't want it to be so, well, let's see. How chunky is she? 3.5. 3.5 inches. She is 10.25 tall and 7.5 wide. So she's kind of big. She's made using hardcover. I've got some handmade paper here my daughter made a couple of years ago. She gave me a few sheets of it that she wasn't needing, and I put some gilding on it too. And on top of this, I put a tea-dyed envelope with a embroidery sewn onto it. This is an embroidery that my mom had given me years ago. I'm pretty sure it's from my mom, but I've had it in my stash for a while. And I thought, oh, I love birds, and it's got kind of Christmassy colors, and it looks like peace, and it looks like love and joy. So yeah, I'm going to use that one. I've got some vintage lace here, and I think this is vintage lace as well that I put over top. And I put some brads through to hold this all in place because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to glue permanently onto this. I didn't want to use something really strong and smelly, so I just used my usual tacky glue, but also used the brads. And the tassel, oh, I made the tassel in the cover right away, and then I got really excited to work on it. Then I had a day where I didn't feel like doing anything, but so I did housework, and then the next day I was back at it. So yeah, I guess I spent about a week working on this. I think a week altogether. Just about. Yeah, anyways, I'm really excited to show it to you. If you hear any snoring, one of my cats is close by, sleeping. The other one, she's thinking of coming up here. Oh, she might want to. I might just pause and get her here. Do you want to come on the window? It's nice and sunny. Do you? Did you want to come see the window? Oh, yes. Look how sunny it is out there. We had a very yucky day yesterday. There she goes. She likes to sleep on that window ledge, so we'll see. She goes to sleep there, so that'll be both cats here. I'll know what they're up to and what they're doing. So on the signature strings, I put some Christmassy beads. Love this color. Almost look like cranberries. And I've used these ones before, but I thought not only do they look like flowers, but they kind of look like snowflakes. And they go with the gold here and the gold on here. So I think they look good. On the back, I was going to use a bright red cover, leave it as it was, and then I just thought, nope. So what I did instead was I put some gesso on it, and I put a little bit of inking to give it a aged look. Same on this side. I really like it. And then on the inside, to help hide the brads, I put some tea-dyed, really good quality cardstock on across, and in the spine I think I've got, yeah, I strengthened the spine. I added some cardstock in there as well, so there's a couple layers, and of course the signatures are sewn out through all the layers, and they're also sewn through this too because this goes straight across. It's tea dyed. I think it's just napkins for the table. They were really white, and they remind me of some ones that my mom had made for me a few years ago. I have in my stash. So on this page, got my usual pocket with some, I think this is vintage. Anyways, that's sewn on there. And here's a little pin, Santa Claus and reindeer. And in here I've got some pages from a World Book Encyclopedia to do with Christmas. There's some in the journal too, but these were the extras. And I thought, oh, why not include them? Because it's got some history and stuff. That's from a vintage World Book. And I believe this is a vintage little Christmas tree. They were earrings. They're quite heavy, but they make great charms in here. And the other one's on the last page. There's a tea-dyed Christmas card. It's blank inside. Well, not written inside, I mean. Perfect for journaling on. And this envelope here I made by putting wax onto some, it was almost like tissue paper, and it makes it quite strong. And I put a little faux wax seal here, and this little piece of fern looks like a Christmas tree. And inside I've got a little book, Hope, decorated up with a Christmas stamp, and it's got some tea-dyed paper in it. And this, the cover of this little booklet is made using a 100-year-old book page, and then inside is just some regular tea-dyed papers. That just slips in there. There's, even though this is quite stuffed, there's room for more things. If a person wants to put more in it. The tea-dyed Christmas card made to look like a postcard. Journaling space here. And a little journal card made from, this is from some handmade soap packaging. And this is from a magazine. Put it together to make just some little journaling pages. And this was a piece of napkin. I had bought this pattern for one of our Christmas celebrations, and I had some left over, so I put it in my craft stash. And it's been waxed, so it's almost like paper. And I put some of it on book page and cardstock to make a little journal card. Some Christmassy fabric on top. Some sewing, did some stamping there and here. And here's a vintage Bible card that's got information on the back. Why did Mary and Joseph travel to Bethlehem? And I included a piece of tea-dyed cardstock so it could be a journal card as well. It's nice to be able to read what was on the thing originally. And this card, I believe this is vintage. It's one of the first Christmas cards we got when we moved on to Vancouver Island many moons ago. And this here is a tea-dyed scan of a tablecloth I use. It's not a formal tablecloth, but I like to put it on my dining room table. It's bark cloth, I believe, and it's quite old. And I don't know if it's meant to be Christmassy, but to me it looks Christmassy. So I scanned a bunch of sections of it to use for Christmas journal. And that little bird there is from a vintage bird book, and this is from a vintage Scots magazine, and I put some paper on the back for journaling. Here got some envelopes that can be used for, let's see, what did I do there? For journaling on here and in here as well. This all opens up and this can all be journaled on. And there's a little tuck spot. I got a little Bible verse there. And this is I didn't have the heart to throw this out. It finally fell apart. I've had this little Advent calendar of devotions for like, well, you can see the date, for years. And this naturally died on the back, so I thought, oh, perfect. I'll put that in there as a journal spot. A little card there, tuck spot there, tuck spot here, and in here, same thing, journaling space, and a little Bible verse tucked into that circle where the brads went through. Had these little tree brads for a while. They came in as some crafts with some craft stuff I got from one of the thrift stores. I've had them for a couple of years now. You never know when you're going to use something. And this, I guess, this wrapping paper, gold wrapping paper. And it was also something I thrifted. And some lovely Edith Holden. It's from her December section. So I left the back to read. Here's a tuck spot here, and here's a piece of Edith Holden from the December section of the smaller book that I have. Interesting reading, or it can be cut up and used for collaging. And here's the section I was saying that's from the World Book Encyclopedia about Christmas. I made this journal card from picture in I think it was Focus on the Family magazine. Ledger paper, and a fabric sample. I think I can just pull that off. Yeah. And I had fun taking apart a book that was, well, pretty much falling apart, but was scribbled in and such. Obviously well loved at one point, a golden book about Christmas. So I made some tags for this journal. And there's a Canada Christmas stamp and a vintage airmail with some tea-dyed paper in there. Airmail in the envelope. Some stamping. This almost looked like it could be a Christmas wish list there, or a Christmas card list, but I get a cozy feeling when I look at this, because this was the paper that I used to use when you know how you put under your writing paper so you can write straight? Yeah. Except when I had this one, I think I actually darkened it. I put felt pen on it so that you could see it through thicker paper too. Anyways, I don't do that anymore, so I thought, well, I'll tea dye it and use it in a journal. That's also from that golden book. And this here is from a gift book. And it's blank on the back for journaling. Writing space under there. So lots of writing space in this one, despite the fact that I put so much stuff in it. In here, I made this little journal card, and it's from an address book. Yeah, an address book. Little stamp there. And this is vintage wallpaper. I think it's from, I'm guessing it's from the 70s. And it was in a vintage desk that I have that lining the drawers. There was several different ones, but this is one of them. And when I saw this one, I immediately thought, oh, that's for Christmas. I got to save that. And this trim I thought went really nice with it. It's washable. And it's nice and sturdy. And this is naturally colored from age. And on the back, we've got tuck spot there, tuck spot there. This is what's left of a vintage Christmas card. Tea-dyed tracing paper. And here's some interesting pages from, I was a Hallmark Christmas book, and I made a really sweet Christmas book that sold. I made one last year, and it had the other pictures from the book in it. Anyways, I had a couple left, so I've included them in here. And on the back, I've made it for journaling. This is from an older calendar. It was all about dolls. And as soon as I saw this picture, I thought, oh yes, I got to put that away for when I make a larger Christmas journal, which I did. More journaling space. And there's another picture from that old Hallmark book. And it was quite old. I forget what year it was, but like definitely vintage. Here's a couple of things I've gotten here from that book. Tuck spot here, and here's from a vintage Christmas card. And there's the little journaling spot there. Vintage wallpaper, tea-dye paper, and this is what I showed in that little short that I posted. And I used a piece of the vintage wallpaper to make a little cover for tea-dye pages, little mini journal. Here's a little Christmas stamp. It's a used one. Can't get that kind anymore. On this page, I put a little star, the button, and I made a little journal tag with that wallpaper. I thought it went nice with this. On this side, I Mod Podge some tissue paper. Oh, this is very, very delicate tissue paper onto a piece of cardstock. Sewed some gold on top to go with it. And here, the tuck spot there, it's a little envelope, has decoration there. And here, journal spot. This envelope is made from a piece of Bible concordance. It was an oldie I got at a garage sale, and it's literally falling apart. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use it for crafting. Here's some more of the World Book encyclopedia page. Lovely old pictures in here. All these little sketches. Oh, that's adorable. Now I need to pause again because there's a little, I don't know if it's a baby daddy long legs or our daddy long legs. Oh no, it's going off. I just don't like spiders in the house, so I'm very sorry, little spider. I'm so sorry. But we can't have you in the house. Okay. Yeah, I teach the kids and the grandson not to hurt the ones outside, but if they're in the house, they're fair game. There's another Edith Holden page. And lovely bird feeding idea there. And I put this in here because it was about December. Interesting reading. Her writing is lovely, lovely. Here's another picture from a Scott's Magazine, a vintage one. Very wintry. I put tea-dye paper on the back for journaling, and this is an altar paper clip with some stamping on it. Did some sewing, aged it with some, see, I think that was tea-dyed paper too, but I also did a little bit of grunging up with some ink. Stenciling here. There's a piece of that tea-dyed copy of the tablecloth. Yeah, see, I think that looks Christmassy. I don't remember where I got it. It might have been something my mom passed on to me because she knew that I liked old stuff. So this is an oldie. Looks like a reindeer, I'm guessing. And this lady's being pulled by it, and he's leading the reindeer. And it's from Stockholm, it says, I think, on the back. Anyways, this is an oldie. I thought it was appropriate for a Christmas journal. And another one of those little Bible cards. This one's about the birth of Jesus and some journaling space as well. Here's another vintage postcard. Definitely Christmassy. And some vintage bird picture from a vintage book. Some of that vintage trim. And this is from that old golden book made into a journal card. And here I made it so that this can be written on too. And this is from a magazine picture. I put it onto some tea-dye cardstock. And here's it's not an old card, maybe, I'm guessing, might be 20 years old, but I doubt it's even that old. And that's a tea-dyed Christmas card, unused. I just did stamping there. And this is a piece of lovely paper from that World Book Encyclopedia. Didn't need dyeing, just a little bit of inking on the edge. Vintage wallpaper. And here is a adorable card that I found at a thrift store. It's from England. And the holly and the ivy. And I guess it's in commemoration of a stamp. So there's a tuck spot under there too. This is from the 1938 book. It's a year-long book, and so I checked it for what was in December, and that was kind of interesting. There's a salad recipe, salad trifle. And here's, oh, this is also from that old Hallmark book, because I had a few leftover bits, and that's a tuck spot there too. And this I put together, very Canadian, this one. It's got a moose with a toque on. And it's North Pole, Canada stamp there. Onto some old book page. And writing room on the back. And some vintage rickrack. And on this side, there's a little tuck spot here and up here. And this here flips so that you can write on the back. And on the back, it has a hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness. Oh my goodness, I was singing that yesterday, and it reminded me of one of my favorite YouTubers who sings sometimes when she comes across one of her hymns. But I don't sing as well as her, but I had fun, so I'm not going to sing it. I think this is vintage fabric. I really like it. It makes me think there's an aunt of mine. For some reason, I wonder if she had something in her home like that for Christmas time, because it makes me think of her. And I did some stamping on this paper bag. Sewed the bottom because I had cut it off because I used the bottom for something else, and put a little booklet in there. There's some more of that tea-dyed tablecloth picture. And this here is really good quality cardstock that is used for, I guess, stamp collectors. And I think this is originally from, probably had a stamp on it at one time. But I did tea dye this, so it's not naturally aged. Did some stamping here. And I thought this was very Christmassy paper. It's sparkly. I don't know if you can catch that on the camera, but there's a bit of a sparkle to it. The nice thing is it doesn't seem to come off. So I don't like it when they do. And on this page, I cut out the Christmas tree from the Golden Book, made it into, yeah, a spot for flipping. And there's a spot there to put a tag, a journaling space, and some more of that World Book Encyclopedia about Christmas. On the back here, rather than covering up, I left it because it was interesting, because it talks about Christianity, even Agatha Christie, and a Queen of Sweden down here. So anyway, interesting reading. You can always do a collage on this using some of those Edith Holden papers I left in here. Writing space here. I like how the tea dyeing came out on this one. And William Morris scrapbook paper. It's like his wallpaper. Oh, I love this. And I thought this went nice with it. And this is from a book. And we've got Good King Wenceslas, I think that's how you say it, postcard. I guess that's also commemorating a stamp in England. And the interesting thing is, here's the song here. And this is also from that Hallmark book I mentioned. There's only one more picture left after this from that book. And I put some hymns in here, Silent Night, and here is a tuck spot made from, had one little piece left from this Harold Smith picture. I think that was a vintage magazine. But I had used the larger picture in a journal. And this is just a piece from one that I didn't use. Because it was a cover of the magazine, but then it was also featured in the magazine. So I had 2 copies of that picture. And there's a tuck spot there. It's really hard not to fill up every pocket, but like I said, this turned out way thicker than I wanted it to be. Oh, this is adorable. Reminds me of my grandson. We have an old piano. It's upright, grand, and he likes to play on it. My daughter's had a lot of lessons, so she's really good at the piano. This was interesting. This came from the thrift store, and it's advertising for a play that happened in 2003. But oh, the Christmas Carol, we watch it almost every year. A lot of people do. Here I've got an envelope turned into, here's a tuck spot there, into a flip end. So you can write on this side, but it's also got a booklet, tea-dye paper in here. And it's got some vintage trim here that goes really nice with this. Yeah, lots of writing space. And on this side, part of the envelope serves as a tuck spot for another Golden Book card. And there's some more of that vintage trim. And here's an old Christmas card. I think it's probably from the 70s. And I added some tea-dye papers into it to make it like a little booklet. And this is also from that lovely bird book, vintage bird book. And I thought all the ones with the snow would look nice in here. Some more Edith Holden. This flips over, and you can read about December on here, and there's writing space. Lots of writing space. Or for putting pictures or mementos. Now, Christmas makes me think of gloves too. Often people get gloves for a gift. And here is a section from an old book on how to make gloves. Here's some of that sparkly paper again. Little tuck spot there, original card. And this bag opens up and there's some Christmas stamps in there. And I think a couple of them are vintage ones. They're really pretty anyways. Canadian and some from England. I turned this envelope into a journal card by leaving it open for lots of writing space, and it tucks behind this Golden Book picture. Some more of that tablecloth. And this is also from the Golden Book. And then I created a tuck spot there for tag, lots of journaling space. And another one from the Golden Book. And here's a tuck spot here. And here's a recipe card because there's recipes. So somebody might want to write them down. From this 1938 book, Pineapple Pudding. I'm hungry already. And a Christmas card turned into a journaling card, Bible verse on the back. And this is a tuck spot here too. I think this picture's so sweet. Vintage wallpaper. Here's a little piece of picture from the, oh, what book is this from? Yeah, that one's from the Golden Book. But this here is from another book. And oh, this book was in rough shape and it had discard stamped on it in several places. And I wasn't crazy about the story, but I really like the pictures, so I am harvesting some of the pictures from it. And here's the book. This was a library card that was, or library pocket that was in it. It wasn't a library card. Karen's Christmas Walk. And this is from the cover. It had been taped, torn and taped. And there she is out for her walk. So there's journaling space on the back. And there's a tuck spot behind here too. So it looks like it started getting checked out and used by students in 1984. Here's a Christmas card that's been turned into a journal card. And there's the other Christmas tree that matches the one at the front. See, show you the back. Back is plain. And this is easy to take off too. Plus this has a little clasp so it could be attached somewhere else too. And there's a little angel down here. And speaking of angels, in here, from a 1985 Family Circle magazine, is a little angel that can be, it's got the directions with it. It can be put together for a little part of the centerpiece or decoration on a mantle. Thanks for watching my flip through of Wish. Oh, okay, Wish just lost one of her charms. And how did that happen? All that wiggling around. Anyways, I'll be having to fix that, and I'm gonna have to strengthen those. They don't seem to be able to withstand my rough housing. Take care, and I don't know if I can do another Christmas journal this year because I'm already craving flowers and stuff, gardening, that kind of thing. But I did notice I have some more Christmas stuff than I thought I had, so I might make another one. Are you making one this year? Take care. Bye.